Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, she lost custody of her daughter to her best friend.
Megan's trying to replace me as Alana's mom.
Is this woman trying to steal her child?
Did you take your daughter to her and say, care for her, I'm leaving?
I've never dumped my daughter.
The face-to-face confrontation.
Crystal is an unfit mother.
Megan has had a weird obsession with babies.
I am very suspicious of both of you. Let's do it. Why don't we stop all the drama, stop all the fighting, and let's go get you better.
Here we go. Have a good show, everybody.
If I can help get this family back on track, are you willing to do that?
Ready, free. Take.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. I want you to imagine this. You're just sitting at home, and a man knocks on your door and serves you a court order informing you that you have completely lost custody of your beautiful daughter. But here's the catch. It's not your ex, because you're not in the middle of some knockdown, drag-out, mudslinging custody battle with him. Instead, it's to the one person you trusted in the world. You have lost custody of your child to your best friend.
My ex-best friend, Megan, who's like a sister to me, committed the ultimate betrayal. She went to court behind my back to try to gain custody of my daughter. This is the paperwork that Megan filed. The judge granted her temporary custody. And it pisses me off that Megan could just take my child like that from me. Megan accused me of being homeless and out of relationships, not having stability. I physically wanted to go wrap my hands around her throat. She's a liar, a manipulator, she's selfish, she's destructive, she's a bitch. It makes me very angry that someone that I trusted would take my daughter, break apart my family. It hurts to talk about it. After she was awarded custody, Megan did not allow unsupervised visits. Every time I called my daughter, Alana, the phone had to be on speakerphone. I stayed the weekend with Megan, and when I got up in the night to go check on my daughter, Megan was sleeping in bed with my daughter. That just made me want to go in there and just beat the living hell out of her. Megan's trying to replace me as Alana's mom.
Well, I'm sure you are all wondering the same thing. How does a friend, and we're talking here a non-blood relative, a third party who has no legal claim to this child, get awarded temporary sole custody and physical placement without even an investigation? How does that happen? Well, take a look.
Crystal is an unfit mother. Crystal doesn't have a job. She makes bad choices with men to the point where some are even violent. Alana is exposed to all of it.
CPS has been called on me 20 times in the last 10 years. I asked Megan's parents to be Alana's foster parents.
Crystal puts her needs before Alana's needs. She met a guy online and decided to move in with him and asked me to take Alana for about 6 months. After Crystal separated from that guy, she met another guy online and moved 3 hours away to live with this guy. When that didn't work out, Alana was sent to live with me again. I enrolled Alana in school and I took care of her. During Alana's time with Crystal, she had 22 absences from school. One day, Crystal told me she wanted to take Alana and the other 2 kids to a shelter. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I filed for joint custody and physical placement of Alana. CPS investigated and they asked Alana to draw her family, and I was included in that picture. That made me want to fight for her even more.
Megan had a master plan. Megan has always wanted Alana.
When I drop Alana off to her mom's, she doesn't want me to leave. I can't imagine my life without Alana. I would be devastated.
Well, now, Crystal believes that Megan has been plotting to take her daughter for years. Things were so bad that Crystal actually planned to kidnap her own child away from her former best friend.
There were a lot of red flags with Megan. Anytime that I mentioned to Megan that I would be moving out, Megan would flip out on me and threaten to split my family apart. When I married my husband, Megan was very upset. Megan told me if I was to go to Texas with my husband, I'd be making the worst mistake of my life. It scared me because I didn't know what she was capable of. The whole time I was secretly planning my move. During the day when Megan was at work, I was gonna go to the house, put all of Alana's clothes into a bin, and leave everything else behind and just go get her from school and leave. Megan called CPS on me saying my daughter was exposed to domestic violence, and CPS came to my home and found absolutely nothing. Megan was lying to try to gain control of the situation and to have my daughter in her life. This woman is no relation to my daughter, and I want her the hell out of my life.
Well, after fighting to win back custody of Alana for nearly 2 months and watching Megan act as her mother, just weeks ago, Crystal was awarded sole custody, but only temporarily. There's another court date quickly approaching, and Megan says she refuses to stop fighting. So this battle is ongoing.
Yes.
Okay, so let me see if I understand this right. You two were best friends.
We're we were best friends. I mean, we were friends.
We're friends.
Since I was 12.
Yeah.
Since I was 12.
But yet you think she is an unfit mother.
I do currently, I do think at the current state she is.
Okay, and what is unfit about her? What's not stable enough about her to take care of her daughter?
I mean, over the past years, there's just been a pattern of constantly not being able to live in the same home, not keeping the kids in the same school, back and forth, several different men, a lot of domestic violence between herself and her biological family.
If it's over the past few years, then why did you file 2 weeks before I was supposed to leave for Texas to go with my husband? Why didn't you turn me into CPS? Why didn't you file for my daughter prior if this is an ongoing situation? Why did it happen conveniently during the time that I was supposed to be leaving?
You are, and I was unaware that you were leaving. You told me that you were taking the kids to a shelter to get higher on an assistance list to get into housing.
Because you have jam-packed my daughter's schedule so full that I don't even get time with my daughter. And for me to get my daughter out of your possession without you doing what you threatened to do back in January, which was split my family apart and things like that, I could not be honest with you because you had already threatened to do this to me. So I had to get my daughter from my back into my possession. You came over the summer when you were supposed to leave with your husband. Your husband decided he didn't want a family, and he left for Texas, for the military. My husband invited us to go. Conveniently, it was around the same time that your mother had passed away, which was like a mother to me.
You're right.
That's why I stayed behind.
But you could have gone later on.
95% of the
You could have gone later on, and you didn't.
I don't need to be here for this.
Right.
I'm not, listen, really, I'm not interested in you two bickering back and forth. I'm interested in what's in the best interest of the children involved here. And I say children because there are 2 others in the home, correct?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to answer some questions about this. Crystal says Megan is so obsessed with her daughter, Alana, that she even bought sperm online from a donor that would produce a child who's the spitting image of her daughter. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Megan is so obsessed with my daughter. She is constantly talking about her in a physical way, about how beautiful Alana is, that she has a big butt. It creeps me out.
Crystal and Megan are former best friends in the middle of a custody battle over Crystal's 8-year-old daughter, Alana. Now, I said Crystal's daughter. Megan has no blood relation to this child at all. But Megan claims that Crystal is an unfit mother. But Crystal believes that the real reason why Megan wants custody has nothing to do with her safety and everything to do with Megan's obsession with Alana. Take a look.
It makes me angry that Megan is so obsessed with my daughter.
I'm her other mother. I'm with Alana for life.
She is constantly talking about her in a physical way, about how beautiful Alana is, that she has a big butt for a little girl, constantly commenting on her appearance and her body. My fear is that when Alana gets older, she may try to pursue a relationship with her. It creeps me out because Megan's interest is in women. Megan has had a weird obsession with babies. Growing up, Megan had dolls that looked like real babies, and even in her teens, she would take the babies to the store like she had a baby.
My dream is to eventually have a baby of my own.
Megan's constantly talking about wanting to bear a child that looks just like Alana. Megan has been ordering sperm online. She's been looking at the father's baby pictures and comparing them to Alana's baby picture to replicate my daughter.
Well, Crystal also believes that Megan has been brainwashing her daughter against her. Take a look and then we'll talk.
Megan is brainwashing my daughter, Alana. Alana does not act like herself when she's around Megan. She does not show affection towards me. I ask Alana why she's so quiet and she's around Megan, and she said that she's scared of making Megan mad. She's afraid Megan's gonna yell at her. Megan claims she cannot have children, that my daughter, Alana, is like a daughter to her. Megan told her that she had a baby when she was a teenager and the baby died. She showed pictures to Alana of this baby. Megan has been filling my daughter's head with lies and manipulation, and the more time she has with her, the more she's gonna fill my daughter's head.
Okay, well, let's talk about her motives in a minute.
Okay.
Because like I say, I'm interested in the children here. You have 3 children.
Yes.
And you said you thought that she was being unsafe, bringing in men, domestic violence, unstable home. Why did you go after one of the children and leave the other 2 in harm's way?
I wanted to have all 3 of them, but at the time I had one with me, and I was under the assumption that she was removing that child from a stable situation. She was currently in for several months with me, providing for her.
So where was I living for those several months?
I still didn't hear an answer. But let me ask you something. Did you, in fact, forfeit your child to her on 2 occasions for multiple months?
I never forfeited my child for multiple amount of months.
That's not true.
Did you leave your child in her care while you went off for multiple months on 2 different occasions?
No, I have left my child in her care while I have worked out of town, but I've never left for multiple months on occasion. She was helping me.
Okay, now is that true or
No,
not?
that's
We can
not
play
true.
the tape back
That's
because
not
you
at all true.
you said on 2 different occasions she left the child with you once for
Yes.
5 months and once for
Yes.
what more?
When she met the man that she
When in
married
5
online, she left the
Okay,
child
wait a
with
minute.
me.
Talk to me.
Yes.
I'm asking you a question and you want to argue with her. If you want to argue with her, then y'all can go somewhere else and do that.
Okay.
You seem to not understand what we're doing here. I'm trying to get to some answers because you seem not to understand. I'm interested in the children's welfare. I'm not interested in you 2 bickering.
Okay.
Okay, and you need to answer my questions here. Do you know what a mandated reporter is?
Yes.
Okay, I'm a mandated reporter.
Yes.
And when this comes to my attention, I take it very seriously. I am very suspicious of both of you. I would not feel comfortable with either one of you being in charge of a child I was responsible with at this stage of the game. So I'm looking for answers. I'm asking you, and you don't want to give me double talk answers. Did you or did you not take your child, Alana, hand that child over to her care and leave for several months at a
No, I
time
did
on
not.
2 different occasions?
No, I did
so
not.
she's lying?
Yes.
Okay, because if you're lying to me now, and in fact that is true, that you did leave her there and go off for multiple months, that's really bad if you're lying to me now.
When I had married my
Now,
husband,
that's a yes or no question. It's not an essay
I did
question.
not leave for multiple months without
Okay,
having.
so she's lying.
She helped me.
That's not an essay question
no, I
either.
understand. She helped me with my daughter for approximately 2 months, but I did not just leave my daughter there. I was going there on the weekends and seeing my daughter. She was.
Did you take your daughter to her and say, care for her, I'm leaving?
No. I've never
Did
just
that happen or
dumped my
not?
daughter.
She did.
Okay, one of you's lying.
I've never dumped my daughter.
Somebody's
I've never
lying
abandoned
here.
my daughter.
Somebody's lying, and that is a matter of fact. That is not a matter of opinion or conjecture. It's a matter of fact. Did she or did she not bring this child to you and leave, and was she chasing after a man when she did?
She did. She did.
I worked out of town. Megan helped me with my daycare. I wasn't out chasing guys.
Okay, when your child was 4 years old, did you voluntarily place the child in foster care?
Yes, I did. Right.
At 4 years of age, you took your child and voluntarily placed her in foster care.
Because I had lost custody of her to my mother.
Why?
Because my mom accused me of being in an unfit home and abandoning my child.
So this isn't the only person that has accused you of that. No. And you've been turned into CPS 20 times in 10 years.
Yes.
And your own mother accused you of being unfit and abandoning your child.
Yes.
What were you doing that was so unfit and so unstable that the only option was to surrender the child to foster care?
When I was younger, I did party a lot. I wasn't the best parent. I made mistakes. But I did what I had to do to fix those mistakes. And since I've had my daughter back, I've changed my life.
She didn't have a consistent home. She didn't have a consistent job. It's the same situation we're dealing with right now.
That's not true.
Okay, and you have another daughter that's older than Alana.
Yes.
And where is this daughter?
She's with her father.
Do you have custody of her?
No.
So that's 2 for 2.
Yes.
So you still have a 1 and a 2-year-old.
Yes.
Are you in a relationship with someone?
I'm not in any relationship at this point.
Do you have a job?
I was working, but I'm not working now.
So that's a no.
Right.
Do you have a car?
No, because my car is broke down.
Do you have a house?
Yes. And what I get out of support from my husband and part of Alana's death benefits from her father's passing is what I'm paying my rent on right now, but it's only been 2 months that I've been stuck here, so in those 2 months I put together a house.
You've been here for months.
Okay, and when did Alana's father pass?
In December of 2011.
And how did he pass?
Ultimately, it was long-term drug use.
Did you participate in that drug use?
I did do some stuff with him.
Are you clean now?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I haven't touched anything in years and years.
You could stand a drug test right now?
Yes, 100%.
All right, next, why Crystal fears Megan is crossing the line with her daughter. We'll be right back.
Alana told me that she slept in bed with Megan and Megan's girlfriend.
Alana came into my bed and snuggled with me.
I hope that Megan hasn't done anything else that's inappropriate with Alana. I admit that I have used Megan. My friendship with her was out of convenience. Megan is way more emotionally attached to me than I am her.
Well, Crystal and Megan are 2 former best friends locked in a custody battle. That's right, a custody battle over Crystal's 8-year-old daughter, Alana. Have you said to her if she would just come and live with you as a couple, you two as a couple, that you would drop everything?
Absolutely not. No.
Did you tell me if I was a lesbian, my life would be so much better?
We have joked about things like that all of the time. We've always thought of each other as sisters. Why would you ever think
So you have
romantic?
no romantic interest in her?
No, nothing.
Is that because of your current girlfriend situation?
I'm single. I don't have a current girlfriend.
Well, Crystal says she is very concerned that Megan is being sexually inappropriate with her daughter. Take a look at this.
Megan has started to kiss my daughter on the lips. It drives me absolutely insane. I think it's inappropriate. Ever since Alana has been kissing Megan on the lips, she's developed cold sores in her mouth. I told Megan that I did not want my daughter kissing anybody on the lips, and Megan looked right at Alana in front of me and says, "You can kiss me on the lips, it's fine."
I hug Alana, I kiss Alana. It's a mother-daughter relationship.
Megan's involved in bisexual relationships. Alana told me that she slept in bed with Megan and Megan's girlfriend.
Alana came into my bed and snuggled with me, and that made me feel really good to be able to have that connection with her.
Megan told her that she's not to wear underwear when she goes to bed at night because she had to breathe down there. I hope that Megan hasn't done anything else that's inappropriate with Alana.
How dare you? I cannot even believe her doctor explained that she should not always wear underwear to bed.
My daughter
she has
tells
been
me
to a dentist
that you told her no, not to wear underwear to bed, and you have grown men in your house, and she wears nightgowns with nothing on underneath them.
She does not wear nothing on when she has nightgowns on. She will always wear pants under everything.
Are you really concerned that she's being inappropriate with your daughter, or is this just a way to create some angst?
I don't feel like she's molesting my daughter. I feel that...
That's what you're insinuating.
That's exactly what you're insinuating. You and I and Alana have shared a bed before. We have lived together several times. Over the years, you and I have taken care of Alana since birth. Why would you ever think that I would harm that child in that way?
I did not want to come off as accusing you as molesting my child, because that is a strong allegation, and I did make that comment. And I was a little concerned on how it was going to be put together. Yes.
Those words are
there's no putting together. That is
what
verbatim what you said.
I'm not making the allegation that Megan is molesting my child.
Okay. Let me ask you something. If this is your friend, and she clearly has been through some difficult times, do you believe that she is drug-free now?
I do.
You believe so? You believe she's clean and sober?
Yes.
Do you believe she loves her daughter?
I believe she loves her daughter. I know she loves her daughter.
Do you believe she loves the other two children?
I do.
Do you believe she loves the 12-year-old?
I do.
So the children that she has, you believe that she loves them? You believe she wants the best for them?
Ultimately, yes, I believe that she wants the best for them. Her sights are a little different.
Then, as a best friend, why would you not take an approach of trying to help her and support her and empower her as a mother?
Oh, I have done that for years. I completely support her in having a relationship with her child. I'm not trying to take that away from her. I never would.
You support her in having a relationship with her child. That's very big of you.
Absolutely.
But
I mean,
I'm talking about now. Where are you?
I want her to get a job. I want her to do it for herself and to do for her children. I completely support that. I want the best for all of them.
Right now, I have only been here for 2 months. I fought for the first month trying to get my daughter back. She just got back with me. It takes time to build that.
What do you mean you've only been here for 2 months if you claim you've been living with us since December?
I was supposed to be leaving for Texas. I had a job down there. I had a home down there.
You claim that you've been here for 2 months, but you've been here since
Because I was
August.
leaving, Megan. I was leaving. I didn't tell you I was leaving.
But what I'm trying to say is you didn't leave. You've been here since August.
And you know what? And I didn't live off of everybody either. And I paid you. I paid you every week for a lot.
There wasn't.
I gave you my money.
All right, let's take a break. Crystal says she sees no problem with taking Alana out of Megan's life forever. We'll be right back.
I'm worried about Alana. And she doesn't understand what's going on, and she does ask me why this is happening. I tell her that she's with me, we're spending time together, and I just kind of leave it at that.
Crystal and I have raised this child for 8 years. I want to be part of her life. I feel that I can give Alana things that Crystal can't.
In the long run, I think it's beneficial not to have Megan in Alana's life. It may hurt Alana at first, but she'll get over it.
This is not your child.
Correct.
It's her child. She says you're obsessed with her.
Obsessed is not.
It's minimal.
No, it's not minimal. Obsessed.
She says you've been trying to purchase from sperm donors and match up characteristics to have a child that looks just like Alana, et cetera, et cetera.
You can't
Is that
purchase
true or
sperm
false?
online. It's false.
No, because it was free. You didn't have to purchase
illegal.
it. Because you sent me the pictures.
Do you have proof of that?
You sent me the
myself
pictures.
and my fiance.
Listen.
It's false.
Somehow or another, y'all don't seem to understand how interviews work. See, I ask you a question and then you answer her.
Sorry.
That's not how it works. I ask a question and you answer it. And I'm asking you, have you endeavored to become impregnated with a child that would in some way be similar to Alana?
No. No, I have not.
So she's just lying about that?
She is lying about that.
Have you talked about doing that?
No. I have not talked about having a child that looks identical to Alana.
Well, let's take out the word identical.
Or looks like Alana.
So that she's just totally fabricating that.
Absolutely, yes.
You had offered to her to drop this custody fight if she would just agree to permanent visitation.
To visitation with Alana and, yeah, yes.
Which would be highly restrictive to you.
So if she's willing to give her to me, then how unfit am I? As long as she has her in her life
I never
at
said
some
I was
point.
willing to just give her to you.
You just said.
I want you to do the best. I want you to get a job. I want you to stabilize. You
want me to
are
stabilize
these
where
children's
you
mother.
want me to live, not where I want to be in my life, where you want me.
No, that's not the case. And it was put in the court petition that after being stable, to move, to do what you can, but you have to prove that you're not going to put these children in danger.
You're saying, I want you to do this, I want you to do that.
She's done it
She
before.
doesn't have to prove anything to you. This is between her
She
and the
doesn't.
state.
She has to prove it to the courts.
This doesn't. You don't get a vote in this. This isn't between Crystal and you. This is between her and the state. You can file a complaint, but you don't. You're saying, I want you to do this, I want you to do that, like she has to snap to please you. You don't get a vote here.
As her friend, as her sister, as because we were a family. And in court documents, it has always been stated that we are family. It states that she called my parents mom and dad. We were family. As family, I want her to be able to do the greatest things for her.
So you're saying
and for
what
her
you
children.
would hope for her.
This is what I would hope for.
You're not
for
saying
her.
what she has to do to please you,
Correct.
so you would then
Correct.
grant
I'm
her
not
the right to
demanding.
raise her daughter.
Correct. That's absolutely it.
Okay,
Dr.
that's
Phil.
important. Yeah. Okay.
It
go
wasn't
ahead.
between me, the state, and I until she filed that petition. So I didn't even have to prove myself to the state until she did that. So
Well,
now she
she's the
wants me to live.
21st person to file.
No, no, and unindicated, they all came back unindicated. Unindicated reports can't even be admissible in court because of people like her. She's turned me in before out of vindictiveness.
I have never contacted CPS for you before.
Okay, well, you said you've been filed on 20 times before.
Yeah, I've been called on by numerous people, and it's come back unfounded. I have one indicated report in 01.
Yeah, but that's a bad pattern, right? What I think needs to happen here for Alana when we come back.
I've lost my trust in everybody. If Megan can file for custody of my child, that means anybody could file for custody. Megan is not Alana's mother. She should not have this amount of access to my daughter. But at this point, I'm allowing Megan in my daughter's life to accommodate the law guardian because she feels that Megan and my daughter should be able to continue to have a relationship.
Well, we've been talking about one of the most unconventional of custody battles, a fight between two former friends over an 8-year-old little girl who is stuck in the middle here. And, you know, I think that you've had some legitimate concerns here.
Right.
I think you tend to come across as a little self-righteous in all of this, but in the interest of a child's well-being, you tend to kind of forgive a little self-righteousness, but I think you feel like you have the upper hand here because she's vulnerable. But listen, you know, she can be a movement here, but I can tell you the standing of a non-biological person in a custody fight, they're dancing on the head of a pin. And children, it's good public policy for children to be with their biological parents if those biological parents conduct themselves in a reasonable way. What you need to do is be singular in your focus here to provide for this child, and you don't have to do it in an elaborate way. It doesn't matter whether you're living in a single-wide trailer or a women's shelter or a penthouse on Park Avenue, if it is stable and it is clean and it is safe and it is filled with love and attention, then that's all you have to demonstrate. That's all you have to demonstrate. If all of a sudden you're parading in non-biological males, I'm not saying you have.
Okay.
But you need to understand that there are risk factors associated with that.
Yes.
Huge risk factors. If there's a biological mother only, the children are 14 times more likely to suffer abuse. If there's a biological mom living with a man, 33 times more likely the child will suffer abuse. Without either parent, foster children, just putting them in foster care, 10 times more likely to suffer sexual abuse. So you can see a biological mother living with a man, 33 times more likely to suffer abuse. Is that because he does it? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's his friends come around that you don't know. It's just all kinds of risk factors. So you have to be very, very careful who you expose these children to, whether young boys, young girls, whatever. So you have to become a very highly vigilant parent here. Do you plan to stay where you are now? Do you plan to go to Texas?
I'm staying where I am.
Okay, and all your belongings are in Texas. And that's your furniture and things like that? And you don't have the money to get those here. Okay, well, may I, just as to help you out, we'll get your things moved up here for you, okay? We'll handle that for you. So just allow us, we'll contact a moving company. We'll get your things brought to you from Texas if you want to stay here, okay? I want you to have some help and some guidance in preparing your home and your life to be ready for these children. Let's get you some professional help that will help empower you as a woman and a mother and get you ready and prepared to do the things that you need to do. And that is another gift that I would like to extend to you, so you don't feel alone. So you don't feel alone in doing this. And I think once you have that help and you have an advocate on your behalf for you, then you can begin to make some decisions as to who you allow into your child's life or who you don't. And if your friend wants to continue to attack that, then she'll just have to do that. If your friend wants to support that, then she'll have to support that. That will be a decision she'll have to make and she'll have to live with either way. But what I'm trying to do is be constructive with you and for your children. And you'll have to make a decision about whatever you want to do with that. You and your lawyer just do whatever you feel like you have to do.
I'm supportive of that.
Yeah, well, just do whatever you feel like you have to do. All right, next. He came to me for help after his girlfriend stabbed him in the back, stealing over $500,000 from him and his elderly mother. I gave him some advice, and I'm just curious, did he kick his girlfriend to the curb? Did he get his money back? We're going to get a little update from him when we come back.
My girlfriend Megan has robbed me blind to the tune of almost $450,000.
She conned your 81-year-old mother out of $167,000. What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
She loves money, but we don't know where all this money goes.
We've been talking about the destruction caused when someone you love and trust completely betrays you, leaving your life in pieces. Now, Steve wrote to me after he says his girlfriend, Megan, robbed him and his elderly mother blind. And I'm not talking about nickels and dimes here. I'm talking about over $500,000. Take a look.
My girlfriend Megan has robbed me blind to the tune of almost $450,000.
I use the word take rather than stole because I believe that when you steal something, you don't ever intend on giving it back to the person.
I have proof that Megan has stolen money for shopping, gas money, Starbucks.
I've used Steve's credit cards without telling him. If I didn't owe Steve money, we would have a great relationship.
She conned your 81-year-old mother out of $167,000.
Right.
What's wrong with you?
If I knew, I would fix it. I don't know.
She loves money, but we don't know where all this money goes.
You do know where it went.
No, we
Steve.
don't.
You say that like you are irritated with him.
No, I'm...
What about the money? When's it coming back, if it's coming back?
It's not coming back. Kiss it goodbye. You never will see it again.
Well, I figured that, but...
What I was hoping would be on your list of questions is, Dr. Phil, what's wrong with me?
I already know that.
What is it?
Too nice.
That's not being nice. That's being an enabler. If she doesn't change what she's doing, she's going to go to prison. We were raised to give people the benefit of the doubt, right? I mean, that's how I was raised. That could not be more wrong and more outdated. Deal with the truth. You know, we need to become street smart, savvy players in the game of life. Do not let her next to your money. Do not let her next to your mother's money. And she needs help. There's something wrong with your moral compass that allows you to do this. And you don't keep her around and just...
Well, she said she has nowhere to go.
That is not your problem.
Well...
You've got to put down boundaries, and you've got to require more of the people in your life. Well, Steve, I just have to tell you, I and everybody else here are absolutely on the edge of our seats. What's happened? What did you do?
Kicked her to the curb.
You kicked her to the curb. All right. You kicked her to the curb. Boom!
Well, it wasn't a boom, but we nicely kicked her to the curb.
All right, nicely kicked her to the curb. So, take me through this. So how did this come about? What made you decide?
Well, I decided, I listened to you, and I agree.
All right.
That I should not listen to all these hopeless people who have no money and want to beg me to loan it to them. So I just told Megan, I said, get a job and get out of here, and that's what you got to do. So she got a job and got out, and we put her on a plane, and I haven't seen her since.
Well, that's pretty boom.
Yeah.
Get a job, get out. Haven't seen her since. Okay. Did you get home and watch this show when it aired?
Absolutely not.
Is that the first time you've seen any of that footage?
Yes.
You did not watch the show?
No way.
Why?
Because guilty.
You didn't watch the show at all?
I couldn't.
You didn't?
I should have. Everyone else did. I mean, it's all over.
Yeah.
All of Brazil seen the show. All the U.S. saw the show.
Yeah.
And when my family found out that there were some problems.
Yeah. Well, we do air in all the United States and like 50, 75 foreign countries. We're all over the place. So it's a little hard to escape that. Did you get your money back?
No, but I'm going to.
Because she said she would.
No, I will. And I won't give up. And if I don't get my money back, it's very simple. There'll be 3 people in prison. End of story.
Yeah, so you will prosecute?
Absolutely.
The truth of the matter is, we encounter people in our lives. Mm-hmm. We do, and that's the first part of my book, Life Code, that I talk about those people. If you see them coming, and you recognize that there are just those people out there that they just don't have the ability to feel remorse. They don't have the ability to feel empathy for someone else. They will steal you blind and have no guilt about it and leave you bleeding in the street and never bat an eye.
Well, that's why I drew the line, because it was like it was getting that way.
Will this change the way you deal with people in the future?
Well, yeah, I decided enough on giving them my money, because I think I'm going to start spending it on me.
Yeah. You might as well, right?
Well, yeah, I might as well.
Hey, listen, I'm glad for the update. I appreciate it. All right, next, the #1 way you can stop being the target of people who exploit and take advantage. We'll be right back. Before the break, I told you that there is a surefire way that can keep you safe from being an easy target for the exploiters and backstabbers of the world. I write about it in my new book, Life Code, The New Rules for Winning in the Real World. And, as I've said, you don't want to give the benefit of the doubt to people, but here's the clue. Here's the key. Don't ignore that funny feeling. You know what I'm talking about. There are people in your life that you'll just say, you know, I got a funny feeling about that person. I've got an uneasy feeling about that person. And you don't know exactly what it is. You can't put your finger on it. Acknowledge to yourself, there's something about that person that I need to stay on my guard about, stay on alert about. Trust yourself. I talk about all of this in Life Code, and I'm very proud to say that this book is published by my son's company, Bird Street Books. It's available in bookstores all over the country right now. I want to thank all of my guests today. And if you feel like someone you trusted stabbed you in the back, go to drphil.com, tell us your story. The book is Life Code. I think you'll find a lot of answers there. Thanks so much. So long.